What's
Hey,
good,
What's
y'all?
up? Welcome to the latest episode of We Just Want a Podcast. I'm Carol.
I'm Liana.
And I'm Donna.
Hello.
Hey.
Cool. So we're in the month of November, and it just also so happens that we are in our 6-month mark of doing We Just Want a Podcast. Can you believe that? We've been doing this since May.
Damn, I wouldn't have known until you mentioned it, Carol, to be honest. I was like, what? 6 months?
Yeah. I was looking back at our first episode and when we posted it, and I was like, oh, that's so crazy that it was back in the beginning of May. I remember like this was just like an idea because we were stuck in quarantine. And then on top of that, I was in the hospital. And then we were just like, let's do a podcast. And we like got right into it as soon as I got home from the hospital. So it was like a really quick decision. And I'm surprised that we've done it for so long. It's crazy. It's been 6 months. It doesn't feel like 6 months.
Oh, that's yeah. I can't believe we've been in quarantine, COVID, stay at home for more than 6 months. Because then it was obviously started like in the beginning of all
In
of this.
March, right?
Yeah.
Holy
I would
moly,
say it's
guacamole!
like 3/4 of the year already so far. And I think it's not going to end anytime soon either. So we'll probably be in quarantine for at least next year. I don't know
Yeah.
when next year, but
Right.
somewhere.
Well, there's vaccines now, and I heard that like at least 50 million doses, at least from the Pfizer company, will be available by Christmas. So, but I don't know. We'll see.
So like, can you imagine? It's gonna be like the lines are like like those Black Friday lines where everyone's like standing outside of the building and everyone's just waiting for a shot. Holy shit, that'd be crazy.
I know. I think
Yeah.
everyone's going to rely on online shopping now because they are definitely not able to go into the malls right now. It's
Mhm.
crazy. But
No, I was
kinda,
imagining like the flu
The
shot line,
vaccine, right?
the
Yeah.
vaccine lines. Yeah,
oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Black Friday shopping.
Black Friday shopping for a vaccine. I imagine that scene somewhere.
Instead,
Oh.
right? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they're gonna prioritize those who are more high risk though, right? Is that
Yeah,
what
or like the
I've been
ones
hearing that
working in the
too?
front line and essential
Mm-hmm.
workers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or sad to
I
say,
hope it goes
they're gonna
well.
give it to the rich people. The ones
Probably.
the ones who got the money to pay first in line. All that. Whatever. We'll see.
I guess it depends who's giving out the vaccines because it's all based on like the hospitals, right?
I have no
I
idea.
have no idea.
Yeah. I don't know either. But we'll see. Hopefully soon we can hear more about the vaccine and how to get it.
Yes, positive energy for the rest of the year. Yes.
Yes.
Well, this is definitely going to be a positive episode since literally when we post this, it's going to be the day before Thanksgiving Eve. That's considered Thanksgiving Eve, right? Or Thanksgiving
Yeah.
Day? No,
is.
that the day of posting is Thanksgiving Eve. And then
Yes.
yeah. Okay. So we wanted to focus on what we're thankful for this year since this is really close to Thanksgiving time. Who wants to start?
Ooh, every time it's always like these type of topics. I'm so shy.
Oh.
Why?
No, they're just so no. I've always been like that way. Like
Aw.
like our Thanksgiving like tradition in my family. Our parents before we go to like a family party, we have like our own like little Thanksgiving like breakfast or lunch or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And our
Aw.
parents, in the case that we forget, in the case that we don't say what we're thankful for with the rest of our family, we have to say it with our like individual family. And every time it's me and my siblings, we get so shy saying in front of each other because obviously we're not the type to kind of say it out loud, or even with you guys or with people in general. I'm not the type to show my affection through words. I'm more of a
Mhm.
do sayer or a do sayer or
Acts of
do something. Yeah,
service.
acts
Yeah.
of service. So every time
Mhm.
people tell me to talk, I'm like, ooh, I'm a little shy about this.
Well, this podcast is your perfect opportunity to prepare for that conversation since you have to do it anyways with your family.
That
Hey
is
man,
true.
6 month mark and I'm still a little shy around the mic. I'm telling y'all. I'm just kidding.
Well,
Is
in
that
that
Oh my gosh, she's blushing.
No, I'm not. Girl, my cheeks are just rosy. right, first I'll go ahead and start. So, of course, the first thing I'm always thankful for is my family. I think with this year we're staying at home and like us trying to adjust to everything. I'm like super thankful how patient and how resilient everyone has been. So my mom actually works, uh, she works at a grocery store. So for her to be out there and just to help people and see everything, we ask her to buy all our food. So I feel bad because she has to go through like all those people's shit. Plus she's always
Oh,
like, sick. So I'm always thankful that she's staying strong for us. And I know like having, two more kids still in college or in high school and then trying to transition, helping them out because, obviously they didn't get to have those experiences that the ones that like same experiences that we had. So I'm very thankful that they're very patient that they're going through this, kind of weird, but yeah, very thankful for my family.
We're thankful for Mama
oh,
Salome too. Oh my God. Yeah,
oh.
it's people like her, the essential workers who normally you're like, oh, they're just working at a grocery store. But honestly, when it comes to this pandemic, they're the backbone of the society, just keeping us going. Because what would
Yeah.
we have done without them in this type of situation?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
have to deal with all the Karens and all the Kevins and all that. Hey, stay strong, essential workers. I see you. We appreciate you. And I apologize for all the stupid people if you're listening. So yeah.
Hmm.
Agreed.
For me, I mean, I was thinking about it too. Like for example, I saw in the news the other day, it was like there was an anchor who asked his family, like, what are you grateful for? And he had little kids, and he said that he was met with crickets. Like there was not much that they were thankful for because it was such a long and hard year. And I was like, it's true. Like it's painful for a lot of people right now in this time period. But when you kind of dig a little bit deeper, I think what I'm thankful for is just to be able to stay safe and at least still have money coming in. Like I think I'm more than that. I'm not just like grateful. It's just I feel so blessed. Um and obviously I'm thankful for my friends like you guys and my family, but I'm also thankful for poetry. I know it sounds really um like cheesy, but honestly with it's hard living in isolation and not having as much connection. But my one of my favorite writers, her name is Rupi Kaur. I don't know, have you
Oh
guys heard
yes. Yes, yes, yes.
her
I haven't
poetry?
heard.
No? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
so she's basically a self-publisher. Milk and Honey was
Yeah.
her first book.
Mm. I've heard that book.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and then her new book just came out and it's called Homebody, and it talks about like how she's coming home to herself in mind, spirit, and body. So I don't know. It's just those type of books where I tend to gravitate towards, especially in the winter months where I'm like, I can't go out. A lot easier to like just, veg out and feel disconnected. Um, but yeah, shout out to writers like Rupi. I'm thankful for you guys.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know I had a pretty crazy year this year, so definitely want to start off by really, really thankful that I'm able to sit here with you guys and do this podcast because through my crazy years, I didn't really appreciate life the way I was supposed to, I guess. I think before my whole surgery situation or my brain situation, um, kind of just living life like really steady Eddie. And
Mm.
then I went through all that and really like started to appreciate life even more than before because of what I went through and how like at that time I didn't know what was going to happen to me because everything was so new. So I'm definitely very thankful that I'm here today to back to normal 100% to be able to, live life the way I want to and really have that second chance again. And I'm just really happy that I came out of it like 100% and nothing has really changed other than like my hair growing in different paces, I guess, or different it's hard to still see my hair so short in the front, so I'm still like getting used to it or just patiently waiting for it to grow. But definitely appreciative of that whole thing. And then really appreciative of my family taking care of me that those few months that I was recovering, because being back with family even for that time frame, um, I didn't really realize, or not no really like really realize, but just more of like being with my family again, living with them for that period, really makes me appreciate what I've gone through, and really, really glad that I have such a great support system with my family, my friends, even like my coworkers when they like sent me flowers and chocolate and donuts and all that stuff. So it really made me realize what a great support system I had, and how much love I had from all these people that I really care about. So, and then just thankful that I still have a job after all that, or even through this pandemic. Not a lot of people are very fortunate to have a job right now, or to be able to work from home and still do what they do at home and safely. So really thankful that I'm still able to have a job, and still able to be productive at home. Yeah, so a lot of things to be thankful for this year for me.
Yeah, there's a lot. I think this year, if anything, it just shed a light on how much we took things for granted. I totally agree with that sentiment. Um, and I was just, I don't know, I might just like, this might be deep, but like, I think with life, it's not always like the big things that are happening. I think when you realize when your life is good, it's just always a little thing, which is peace. And you have your family coming home, or you have food on the table. And I know it might sound mundane, and it's very easy to get caught up with it, like you're like, oh, maybe I can't travel this year, or I lost the opportunity to, I don't know, X, Y, and Z. But it's just always the little things, right? And I get so overwhelmed when I'm thinking about it.
I
You're like,
know.
oh,
No, I
yeah.
totally agree. Like this year has been very like reflective for a lot of people. And like you know how we can't see each other a lot now, but when people get small glimpses of actually seeing other people, you can see like a little light in their face. You know, like when was the last time I saw you guys? But every time, the first time I saw you guys, when we did shelter in place, like the energy was so crazy because it felt like we haven't seen each other in such a long time. Like that human interaction
Yeah.
that we took so grant like took for granted, that
Yeah.
like when you finally had it, we're like, damn, like I missed this, but we shouldn't, waste that energy now, waste that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes you appreciate every time you see someone in person for the first time in a while. Cause, back before COVID started, like you would just hang out with anyone you wanted to, and just
Yeah.
like catch up with them once in a while, and like just kind of do that freely. But now it's kind of like you have to pre-plan it. And then if you wanted to really talk to people, like you can only really do it virtually. So also thankful for the technology that we have today, and how the pandemic hit now versus years ago when technology wasn't so advanced. With technology nowadays, like you can just talk to anyone, anytime, anywhere, um, and still stay connected with people, even if you don't get that in-person interaction that you're used to. I've seen both sides of like the people who can work virtually versus the people who have been furloughed or laid off. Like for my parents, for instance, like my mom can teach virtually with piano, because she usually teaches at home with her students coming to our house. But now with COVID, they can't come. And so, like, for her to be able to virtually, like, still teach them and get an income that way, it's really great. But then on the other side, like, my dad works at a restaurant, and he can't work in a restaurant right now because of COVID. So he's like not, so he's just at home doing nothing, or not doing nothing, but like not working. And so like I see the effects of people who can work from home versus people who cannot work from home, or are furloughed or laid off because of the pandemic. And um, everyone's struggling, but at the end of the day, I think we're just very happy that we can stay safe. And luckily, my parents have not gotten COVID at all before, knock on wood. But
Fingers
like,
crossed.
yeah, but like the thing, I think them just being safe at home, even if my dad's not working right now, it makes me feel at ease.
So I'm the same way. Like, for example, I'm fortunate enough to be working from home, but my sister who just finished her undergrad studies, she's been job hunting for months now, and it's not a ideal nor ideal economy for any new grads to be looking for a job. So, you know, she's struggling. And I think, I don't know, like, I think for the people who have lost their loved ones through COVID too, because right now it's like we're back in like not even square one, it's like negative square.
Yeah.
It's been
To
worse.
the damn purple tier.
The fucking purple tier. And, and I think that we're all experiencing fatigue of staying isolated from each other. I, for one, have not been perfect about, staying in quarantine. I've taken precautions, but I took some risks as well. So I don't know. I guess one piece of what I want to say is that, like, just hang in there, people, because at least like with the vaccine, I feel like that's the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's not just going to be up to us individually of like staying safe. It seriously is such a collective effort. And I know how divided we are right now, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Like I'm such an empath sometimes. I'm in tune with all the anxiety, with all the tiredness, and I feel so heavy, and I feel like just, I don't know, take care of yourselves, people. Go for a
Yeah.
walk, drink hot cocoa. It's like I said, it's the little things, and I'm grateful for people who are still fighting, even if that means surviving right now.
Yeah, I think that if you're taking the precautions and you're staying safe and limiting yourselves to like interacting with people as much as possible, I think that's all the best you can do, right? So if you do end up like going outside to get groceries or interacting with people, like just do it in a safe manner. And that's all you can really do.
Okay, enough with the feels. Give me a fun fact or something. I don't know. Too emotional just thinking about everything.
Yeah.
Well, before we go into fun fact, what about the reflection of the podcast itself now that we're in the 6-month mark?
Oh, yes. It's so funny though, because I still tell people, like other people, oh, I'm doing a podcast. I'm doing a podcast. And then they're like, oh, what's it called? And I go, oh, it's We Just Want a Podcast. And I always like end up always talking about it. But because it still feels like we're still, the beginning of it still feels like we're still episode 1, but then I'm like, oh my God, never mind, we're already on like episode 12, 13. I'm like, damn, I can't believe we already have that many episodes. I'm like, wow, just wow.
Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, I mean, so I think it's a milestone, right, Carol? Like I think it's one of the silver linings of you getting sick. It would not have
Definitely.
happened without, us visiting you at the hospital and us wanting to pass the time with quarantine. We're like, we need a project, otherwise I'm gonna go crazy.
That's
Um,
true.
yeah, so
I
I
feel
still
like,
feel the same way,
yeah, I feel like the only difference with this podcast versus not doing the podcast is that we're recording us talking to each other. That's basically it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, we would have been in these Zoom calls and just like talking about anything. So
Yeah.
that's the only real difference. But
These conversations just got $40 more expensive because we just bought mics.
Times it by 3, 120.
Yes.
it's a
yes.
one-time payment. It's a one-time payment, so it's no big deal. I don't know. I didn't realize we were at the 6-month mark until like recently, and I was just like, wow, it doesn't feel like we've been doing this for 6 months. And then I think of us like being consistent with our cadence of posting or just like making sure that we always have good content for our listeners. Um, it's definitely a lot of work to think of different topics that our listeners would be interested in, or even things that we would be interested in talking about. I think just the fact that we've been able to keep up with that cadence, I'm really glad that we made it to this 6-month mark, and I'm looking forward to what more we can bring to this podcast or what more we can do.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like, one, it's so cool to say I have a podcast. And then two, I think it's more like I think I really enjoy meaningful conversations, and I feel like this has trained me to do that a little bit because I mean, we talked about this before, like we I don't know, like to know that your thoughts and your way of thinking is out there, it just makes you a little bit more critical of yourself. But at the same time, it trains me to be more confident in my voice, in my perspectives. I noticed that at work, for example, I'm kind of more comfortable being on camera and speaking up in meetings, and all around just being more educated education, what was that word?
Educated.
Educated.
I hear you. I hear you.
So yeah, there we go, point made, educated.
No, then I want to add to that. Yeah, I think this podcast, you guys definitely helped me grow more in terms of the way I think, critically thinking, or just kind of like being more open to myself. You guys asked me like questions that I've never thought I would ever get asked, or made me think, in other ways that I would never have thought of. So, shout out to you guys for always making me grow. I know being the youngest, you guys are always kind of giving me like those little lessons, and I'm always kind of like taking that into my head. I'm like, okay, this is what Carol, this is what Liana told me to do, or gave me another perspective of, and that kind of made me grow in the 6 months.
Aw,
Yeah.
yeah, Donna, you gave a different perspective for me too, all around. But Carol,
Yeah. I
aw.
think it's just like all these conversations make you really think about like more of what's out there.
Mhm.
Because you only know what you know, right? And these conversations is where you learn more about what other people know or what other people think for you to like really form what your opinions are. So I think these are conversations that like it was always meant to be had, but I think it definitely forces us into having the conversations that, I know there were conversations that we've had where I was like very uncomfortable to like put on the podcast, or like things we've said in the podcast that we ended up not putting in the podcast and things like that. And that it makes you really like want to be careful on what you say, but also portray your true authentic self.
Mhm.
So that's what I really learned from this podcast, because in the beginning you kind of just like say what you want to say, but then you start, when you listen back as you're editing the podcast, you're just like, do I really want to say that or portray that to the world? And it really makes you think of what you want to say in the future. So that's
Yeah.
definitely what I've learned from this whole podcast experience.
Yeah, for me, I think I'm pretty proud of ourselves of making it this far too. Like I like when you put it in the business of I mean, in the context of a business, the startups always fail like in the beginning stages because it's, we got that energy from the very beginning. We're like gung ho about it. We're super excited. But I have to admit with you guys, like, working a full-time job and mentally draining with the pandemic, like it does take a lot for example, to edit, to make sure that we keep up with the cadence with our posting. And we still face that challenge because we're all working full time. But I don't know, I truly meant it when I say like this is a project that I love doing. Um, and I don't know, it keeps me busy. I know some people cope with anxiety or uncertainty different way, but for me, something that's creative and something that is purposeful, it gets me up in the morning. So I do think that this is fun, but it's also there's a meaning to it.
Yeah. And I do like with the podcast, like we kind of just do it in our own way. So like if there's days or weeks where we're just like, let's take a break, let's get back to it fully refreshed, then we
Mhm.
have that flexibility to do that. And that's what I really feel like this is really not just for fun, but something that we're really passionate about. And if we need to take a break, we can definitely take a break and come back fully recharged, right? Like you said. So
I'm so quiet because I'm like, again, reflective of what's been going on the few months. But yeah, no, best said. You guys kind of hit it spot on how this podcast journey has been going through, and so it's been fun. I can I'm looking forward to all the next episodes.
I know, it's crazy.
Thankful for our listeners for listening to our mumbo jumbo too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even the day ones, the ones who have been listening from the very beginning, I think we're
Yeah.
at least like what 14, 15 episodes in, and that's like at least a half hour to an hour of us just talking about everything, and then people are just like listening on. So really appreciate it for everyone out there who's listening, especially those who have been consistently listening since day one.
Hearts, hearts. Love you guys.
All right. So should we start with fun fact?
Yeah.
Yeah, who got it?
All right, I got it. So, since we are in the Thanksgiving festivities, I do have a fun fact related to Thanksgiving. So did you guys know that Americans eat 704 million pounds of
Jesus.
turkey every Thanksgiving?
Pounds.
Damn.
Mhm.
You said
Yes.
pounds.
Yep, pounds. So
Million pounds.
million pounds, yeah. According to the National Turkey Federation, around 44 million turkeys were served at Thanksgiving in the United States in 2017.
Wow. I don't eat turkey for Thanksgiving, though. Do you guys?
Sometimes I do. So for my family, because my mom is quote unquote vegetarian, but not really vegetarian. She likes to call herself a vegetarian, but she eats chicken and fish.
What?
Um,
She's
yeah,
pick a day.
basically
Pick a
she's
day vegetarian.
Part time.
yeah, she
part-time.
says she's a vegetarian, but she's not a vegetarian because of those things. But
Mama Yan, I
she's
see
just
you.
a picky eater is what I call it. But anyways, because of that, we end up just eating hot pot for Thanksgiving and even Christmas. So my uncle would sneak in some ham sometimes just on the side so we can have some sort of American Thanksgiving dinner,
Mhm.
but usually we would just eat hot pot.
Oh, yum. Sorry.
Honestly, no, my family is the same way. I think we put turkey as like a side dish. Like
Yeah.
that's not the main
Yeah.
dish. That's like in the corner of the damn table.
Yeah, there's
We usually have like a big lechon, which is like a roasted pig,
Oh,
and that's in the middle of the table for sure. And then we
yeah.
have like the smallest turkey you can ever find, and that's in the corner of the table just for the
Just to
picture.
pay tribute, this
Yeah,
Thanksgiving at least.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been at a Thanksgiving dinner where we had a full-on turkey. It would
Mm,
just be like the turkey meat, but not like full-on turkey just in
Mm.
front of you to cut.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just the Asian side of the family.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like, at least for me, my family, we used to have Thanksgiving or with turkey, but then we realized none of us actually really like turkey.
Oh.
We're like, what the fuck? I thought you liked turkey. It's like, no, I thought you. So we switched to like a tri-tip, the one that you just bake, and it's so much. I don't know. It's gone.
Easier. Yeah.
It was a lot easier. Whereas turkey, we have to finish it in like 3 days. We're like, oh, we're tired of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we
Yeah.
also cook, like Malaysian dishes where it takes a lot of preparation and a lot of prep, and it feels more special. So we cook a laksa johor, which is like this. It's like a village type of food, but like it's good. It's like fish with like spaghetti. So
I've never heard of that.
fish sauce with spaghetti. Not fish
I think
sauce. Vietnamese. You know it? You know it?
I think I've seen it in the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like it's like spiced. It's not laksa pinang where I know a lot of the like restaurants serve now because it's Singaporean.
Okay, maybe that's what I was thinking of. Because it's like
Yeah,
a Singaporean show.
it's in the same family as laksas. There's different provincial type of dishes.
Mm.
So I am so excited. We're gonna cook that this year. So that's what we're having.
That's
I swear to God, I don't think
exciting.
my family ever cooks like American food. I think I've like I said, those are all like the side dishes. Like the main dishes are like the pancit and the Filipino cuisines. Like I don't remember. I think it's like always like one small tray of like mashed potatoes and like all of that, and then the rest of it is like chow mein, fried rice, lechon, pancit, regular like party food. But it's just like Thanksgiving is just an excuse to throw a party. But
Yeah.
not this year. I think we're doing it's really small. It's just my immediate family, which is still a lot. We're still 6, so it's still gonna be loud games and everything.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's okay that like everyone has different kinds of Thanksgiving dinner. The whole point of Thanksgiving is just to get together with family. So
Mhm.
whatever food you have in front of you, it doesn't really matter as long as you're with the people you love.
Yeah, lucky
Facts.
Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday because Christmas is so stressful with like presents and but Thanksgiving you just eat good food and you just go in a coma.
Okay, Thanksgiving is legit the best holiday for any party because the only criteria you need is to bring like food. Like it
Yep.
doesn't even have to be a big food. It can be like the smallest dish ever. You bring that, and that gives you the like the ticket, or walk in with someone who has the food, and that is your ticket to eat the rest of the food. Like right, like with Christmas, you have to bring a gift, or you don't have to bring a gift, but you feel bad
Of
if you don't
course.
bring a gift, or
Yeah.
you feel
Right.
bad if someone got the same gift as you, or like or how big or small. But with food, it doesn't matter the size or anything. As long as you bring the food and you're good to go. Right?
Yep.
With Christmas, that's all anxiety right there.
Yep. Yep.
That's true. That's true. That's
Totally.
true.
Well, take pictures of your food, guys. I want to see.
Yeah, yeah. I'm so excited. And this past, I did one little Friendsgiving with a very small group of friends, and I made pumpkin pie for the second time this year, and it was
Oh,
so good. It was finished at that party, and it was just a
yeah.
whole pie. So I was really happy.
Oh.
I will accept pumpkin pies if you end up making another one and your Friendsgiving or Thanksgiving of yours gets canceled. Just drop it off at my house.
The fuck?
Contactless, drop off and we're good. I will critique it and everything.
What
I'll take it.
Well, I already know what I'm gonna make for December, my baking project, and I'm really, really excited because it's a French dish that I made back in high school. It's called Bûche de Noël. It's like a Yule log dessert.
Oh.
It's a Christmas dessert for French people, or is it in France? And I'm really excited to make it. So I'll
Yeah.
definitely share with Donna. And sorry, Liana, because I don't know if I'll make it by the time you move to San Diego.
Oh, I see. I was like, what the fuck?
I would share if you were in San Jose by then.
I got you. I got you. Yeah, just take pictures.
I'm glad that we got this in recording. So people, if I end up saying that Carol never gave me this dish, we have it in recording, people. So let me know I'll let you guys know if she did or did not give that to me.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. Hold me to that.
Holding
Keep
you
me
accountable. Yes.
Yeah.
Word of the day, accountability.
Oh God. Okay.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for our Thanksgiving episode. Next time we'll talk again is in December, and don't know if that will be the second to last episode or the last episode of the year, but we'll see. But excited to record more. Happy 6 months to you guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And happy Thanksgiving.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
guys. Bye.